We'll be on here to talk to you guys for the next hour. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys have all been having a good winter out there snowboarding. But yeah, I thought it'd be a good time to come on, chat with you guys, answer any of your questions, talk to you guys about this past week, uploading some videos from Alaska. Was really stoked to get the Alaska Heli video up yesterday. Hope you guys had a chance to check that video out. But yeah, just come on here, talk to you guys, answer any questions, check in with everybody. Let's give some shout outs to people who got on early. We got Bad Riders on here. What's up, man? We got the GOAT 1084. We got El Stacker, Brooklyn. Thanks for hopping on. Everyone doing their Arnold impressions in the chat already with Get to the Chopper. We got In Motion SLB. We got Cyper X. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Chuck Van. I know that El Stacker and Chuck Van are on a snowboard trip on the East Coast. I think they flew into Philadelphia the other day, so hope you guys are having some good times in the snow. Icy Fraggin, Skater Boy. Swift S7X Clouds says, yo, dude, I live you, man. Do you mind helping me with my 180s? I can't get them down. For sure. If you're having trouble with 180s, I think like the best thing is to really work on your switch riding. If you can get your switch riding really comfortable, that's going to help with 180s. Also, the place that you're trying it is really important. So if you can find a spot where there's like a bank, like up a side, just like a little side bank, place where you can ride up and just pop the 180 off of a wall. That's like a really good spot to do it. So yeah, there's a couple things. Let me know what exactly you're having trouble with the 180, and hopefully I can help. Yeah, we got Jay watching from England. Yeah, it's great to hear where you guys are watching from, guys. All right. Dylan says, hey man, here in Colorado, and this is my first Sunday not snowboarding this year. Oh wow, tweaked the back on a jump last weekend. Dylan, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, hopefully your back gets better, man, and you're back out there next weekend. But you know, it's good. Like snowboarding, it is pretty physical. So from time to time, you know, you kind of get little aches or pains or little twists. So it's good to take some time off, recover, and then you'll be back at it for next time, man. Calvinator saying, what up, man? The Heli video was awesome. Yeah, thanks for checking that out. Was stoked to get that video up for you guys. The Heli day, like honestly, when we booked it, we weren't sure if it was actually even going to go through, because with heli boarding, it's like really weather dependent. And when we were in Alaska, it was like cloudy the majority of the time. There was like a couple pretty nice days, but there was one really sunny day where we tried to go heli boarding, but it was already all fully booked out. And then the day that we went, we woke up, it was snowing, it was cloudy. They told us that maybe like an alternative to heli boarding was to go cat skiing. That's kind of like their backup plan. So we're thinking, okay, maybe it's not going to happen. And then like the clouds cleared and we got to go up. So I was super stoked to get that day in, to film that video. And I'm going to do an extended version of that day because we did so much filming that day. Like we probably filmed for like, you know, we have like 5 hours of footage. And so I managed to condense that 5 hours into like a 15 16 minute video. But there's so much that I had to cut out that I'm gonna upload into like an extended version. So watch out for that video. We'll probably drop that sometime this month, like a 40-minute extended cut of the heli day. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone that checked it out. Harjit Singh says, where are your next trips to? Yeah, so next week I'm going to be going to Banff. First time first time going to Banff. Actually, I'm pretty excited to check it out over in the Rockies, and it's going to be very, very cold. So I was looking at the temperatures. I think it's going to be like negative 15 to negative 18 degrees Celsius. So like a really cold few days in Banff. But excited to go check it out. The views, the mountains there are huge. I think some of the best like landscapes anywhere in the world. And so really scenic place. I'm not exactly sure what the riding's going to be like. I'm going to bring a couple boards, my paddle board and my park board, and see what's going on. But yeah, stoked to go check out Banff for the first time. I've got the Icon Pass, so there's 3 resorts around Banff that I can use the Icon Pass at. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's going to be the next spot. And then after that, it's going to be probably like a spring park trip. And yeah, I've been sort of like thinking about where's the best place to hit up some spring park. If you guys have any recommendations, but I was kind of thinking either heading down to Mount Hood in Oregon to Timberline and get the spring pass down there and maybe spend a bit of time in their park, or possibly going down to Mammoth. I do have like the Icon Pass, so I can go down to Mammoth and ride the spring park there. So I think after Banff, that will maybe be the next trip, is like a spring park trip down to either Mount Hood, Timberline, or to Mammoth. But yeah, I'm gonna see like what the weather's doing, how the conditions are holding up in the parks, and go from there. Brandon says, Sunshine's got tons of parks. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, looking forward to checking out some of the terrain parks around Banff. Lobo Mob says, are you going to Sunshine or Lake Louise? I don't know. Maybe both. Yeah, haven't really planned it out too much yet. I'm meeting some friends there, and yeah, we're just gonna, I think go day by day. Feb D says, I loved your Mount Baker videos. I live in Skagit County. Mount Baker is my go-to place. Better than Stevens Pass, at least. Yeah, Mount Baker is awesome. Honestly, I love that place. From here, where I am in Vancouver, I can actually like see, I don't know if it's like Mount Baker that I'm seeing over there, or if it's like, but I can basically see like where the resort is from my house in Vancouver. So it's so close to me. And yeah, such a special place, Mount Baker. So much terrain, so much backcountry. Absolutely love it. So yeah, you've got a really cool mountain there, Feb D. Bad Rider says, Banff is fire. Who is joining you on this trip, Kev? So a few friends that you guys may not have seen I don't think I've been in the videos, but some friends that I grew up with from Ontario, they're coming out for a visit they're from around Toronto. But my one friend, Chris, who came out last year around this time, he was the skier friend who did the Heli day with me in Whistler, but also the guy that I taught to snowboard for 3 days in Whistler. If you guys saw those videos last year, Chris was like a super good sport, was down to learn to snowboard. So I'm going to bring the snowboard gear out for him again. So if he wants to give it another try, he can. But yeah, those are the guys that are coming out, sort of friends, old friends from back home. And if you guys saw last year, Chris in the videos, he's going to be coming out too. So maybe some like more progression with Chris learning to snowboard. If he's down, if he's not, that's cool. We'll just get some like good skiing days and like enjoy the mountains out there around Banff. Brian says, Bear or Mammoth, or go to Brighton. Yeah, it would be cool to check out Utah. Like I did go to Utah in late November, and there was like almost no snow there. I rode like one lap at Brighton, and I could see there was potential, but there just wasn't enough snow yet. So it would be fun to get back out to Utah for some park days. So if Brighton stays good, maybe I'll head back there. Hardjet wants to know, are you going to meet up with TJ anytime soon? Yeah, definitely. Like hopefully can meet up with TJ. We'll see what his plans are, and we'll reach out to him and see if we can make something work out. James wants to know, come to New Zealand this season. Yeah, it would be great to get back to New Zealand. Love riding at Cardrona, and staying in Wanaka. Hopefully meet up with David Jones. Yeah, I think like the restrictions are hopefully lifting for travel down to New Zealand and Australia, and hopefully we'll get back down there like in August or September or maybe even October. Lobo, what are your thoughts on Nitro boards? You plan on doing any reviews on them soon? I haven't ridden a ton of Nitro boards. The last Nitro board I think I owned was the Nitro POW, which was like a really fun, like deep powder snowboard, like short and wide POW board. But haven't ridden one since. That was like 4 years ago, I think. But I see the Nitro team board out quite a bit. So that looks like a fun park board, but I haven't ridden a ton of Nitros, to be honest. Ernest says, I saw in another video you mentioned you used to ride at Skyloft or Lakeridge. Do you ever come back to Ontario? I ride at Dagmar normally. Ernest, yeah, so I'm originally from like near those resorts, a small city called Oshawa, and the resort I grew up, or I didn't grow up, like kind of got into snowboarding in high school at was over at, I think it was called Kirby. Now it's called Brimacombe. And I used to teach snowboarding at Skyloft. That was like my first place I taught snowboarding at. So yeah, those places are yeah, I haven't been back there since. I haven't been back there in like 20 years, but maybe we'll have to go back and visit next winter. Jay saying, watching your videos was what got me back into boarding, man. Thanks again. Awesome, Jay. That's so sweet. That's, yeah, welcome back, man. That's great to hear. Christy, is the ride Warpig good enough for high speed and carving? I want to blind buy it, but it's so short and wide that you don't know. I've heard that that board's not like overly stiff. So maybe for high speed and carving, maybe check out a board that's a bit stiffer. Yeah, maybe check something out that's slightly more stiffer. I'm not sure. I've heard the Warpig's not like overly stiff. So maybe take a look at a few other ones. Brandon says, what video editor do you use? I would highly recommend doing Delirium Dive and the back door, a bit of backcountry, but worth it. Okay, so the video editor I use is Adobe Premiere CC, I think it's called. But yeah, I use Adobe Premiere. I have a subscription for that. All right. Somebody's getting banned. Okay. So Flair wants to know, how much did heli skiing cost per person of the day? So I think it was around, $1,400 US dollars per person. And when we did it in Canada in Whistler last year, I think it was a bit cheaper. I think it was around like $11.50 USD in Whistler. But the difference with this trip in Alaska is that we actually, I think, got more runs in Whistler. So you kind of like, you pay for, obviously like a heli trip is expensive, but the more you pay a little bit more for more runs, or you pay a little less and get less runs. So in Whistler, I think we got four runs, and we ended up doing like a fifth as like a bonus, and we paid a little bit extra. So I think it worked out to be the same. but I think the runs were also like a little bit longer, where in Alaska, the runs are maybe slightly shorter, but we got like more runs. I think we did like 8 laps in Alaska, at least 8. So, but yeah, definitely to me, it was like, you know, if you're going to do it once every 5 years or once every 10 years or once a year, whatever you can pull off, it's like, it's, my opinion, it's worth it for the money. El Stacker wants to know, Kevin, are you going to do a pond skim? Definitely, El Stacker. Yeah, I would love to find a pond skim this spring. Pond skimming is like, yeah, so much fun in the spring where like the snow starts to melt and you get those like big blue pools of water. So would love to do it. El Stacker, do they do a pond skim at Bogus Basin? Because if they do, maybe we can check out one there. And if they don't, maybe we can, man, I got to find one because yeah, pond skimming in the spring is definitely one of the best things to do. And Chuck Van is watching from Millersville, Pennsylvania. Awesome. Chuck, what are you doing there? All the way from New Zealand, Newcastle, New Zealand to Millersville, Pennsylvania. Awesome, man. Guilherme says, I underestimated how expensive snowboarding is in North America. I'm actually calling off my trip to Tahoe. Bummer or boomer? It says boomer, but I think you mean bummer. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, it can be for sure. It's like, it's kind of as expensive or inexpensive as you want to make it, to be honest. Like, so for example, in Tahoe, I know there's some resorts where the lift tickets are $200 plus per day, and other resorts where they're, I think, $80 and under. So it kind of depends on where you go. And, you know, same for accommodation. Like when I'm traveling for snowboard trips, I'm always trying to do it as inexpensive as possible. And per night, you can definitely, like, let's say if you got a room for $200, but there was, you know, 2 queen beds and there's 4 people, maybe that kind of like splits up the cost, $50 per person per night. And then if you go to one of the smaller, more private resorts, you can kind of pay like $60 to $80 per person for a lift ticket. Compared to like going to some of the like the premier big resorts where yeah, it's $200 plus. And then if you stay like at the resort, you're looking at like $700-800 a night. So it can definitely be expensive. And yeah, it's like kind of a dilemma that I'm trying to figure out too, is like how to navigate snowboarding and doing it in like a cost-effective way, because it's definitely like, it's getting out of hand in some places with the day tickets and all that. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking like next year trying to really highlight some of the smaller private resorts, because in my opinion, if you go to like a small resort and there's no lift lines, but the snow's good and like the mountain is still good, you're going to have such an amazing time and you're going to do it for like a lot less money. So those places still exist. It's still possible. It's a little bit more tricky though, for sure. Nathan says, any tips for a soon-to-be snowboard instructor in Austria? Awesome, Nathan. Yeah, definitely. So when you're teaching snowboarding, I think, yeah, the thing I try to do, or like, you know, if I were to give myself advice going back to my first season, is to just like, to be like, have lots of patience for the people that you're teaching. And actually maybe besides patience, like, I think it's natural to be like, to really want to teach somebody like as much as you can, like, especially when you're so passionate about skiing or snowboarding and you want to just like get other people involved and like teach them. But try to stay away from like over teaching, like teaching too much. Because some people, you know, everyone kind of learns at a different pace. But also everyone has like a different level of like how much they want to learn too. Like some people are like keen to, you know, absorb as much as possible. But other people may just want to like learn one thing and then enjoy the rest of the day. So really gauge your teaching and your lessons around the customer, the new snowboarder, and yeah, just really gear your lessons towards them. Don't try to like overteach or underteach or whatever it is. Just kind of like see where that person's at, and then if they're, one thing I like remember discovering is that a lot of people, they do want to learn a bit, but then they also just want to enjoy the day. And snowboarding can be really difficult for somebody that's never done anything like that before. So, the being outdoors in the cold with using all these like muscles for snowboarding that we're not used to using, it can be pretty tough for some people. So just letting them take it easy. And but I think the most important thing is, they learn something, but even more important than that is that they're enjoying the experience. So yeah, if you keep that in mind, I think you'll have lots of happy students. El Stacker is saying, Alaska is such a dream location. Definitely, man. Yeah, Alaska is crazy. I'd like to go back, maybe in the springtime where it's like a bit sunnier, where you can see a bit more. But yeah, Alaska is wild. All the animals, we saw 2 moose just like randomly on the side of the road as we were driving by. So that was really cool. Yeah, the whole place is such a cool vibe up there. Christy says, any plans for a trip to Europe this season? Me and my friends would love to meet you and TJ. Awesome. Yeah, it would be great to get back out to Europe. Yeah, we'll see if it's going to happen. Like the last couple of years, we've been making it to Europe in like July, August, September. So I'm sure at some point we'll be back there for some kind of a trip, but no plans at the moment. But yeah, we'll definitely let you know if I'm coming back. What country do you snowboard in the most? Zoombin says, why haven't you been using the GoPro Max in your recent videos? So I did break my GoPro Max like this time, or it was like last spring. So I was trying to film like a skateboard video. I fell over and I smacked like the glass onto the concrete. So I broke the Max. And then Insta360, they sent me a camera. I started making some videos with the Insta360 1X2, which it's been good, but to be honest, I'm not like totally thrilled with like the way the Insta360 camera looks. I think it looks like okay, but I think it kind of like the quality is not quite there, and I think the way the Insta360 films, it kind of takes away some of the, I don't know, the exciting look of like filming snowboarding. I think the Insta360 kind of makes everything just look a bit, I don't know, like it just doesn't look real. It kind of looks fake in my opinion. So I've like gotten away from using the 360 camera and just trying to film more with the GoPro like in 4K, just to like get that good quality. And I feel like you can get more creative too when you have just the GoPro. And also the process of like editing videos with the Insta360 is like much longer. So I've kind of gotten away from filming a lot with it just because it takes longer. I don't think it looks as good. Bad Riders, any news on the board build? Yeah, the board, hopefully we're going to get some prototypes out soon. And yeah, that's kind of like all I know. I'd like to talk to the guys, and actually I'd like to have Antoine, who's like helping me make the board, come onto the channel, and we can talk about some of the design and stuff. And I've recently I was trying to figure out how to do it. I got like a new laptop computer, I've switched over to Mac, and so now I've like sort of figured out how to have somebody come on to YouTube live with me and to have like a talk. So we'll be stoked to have Antoine, who's one of the board shapers at board designers at Nidecker, and who can like talk to me and we can discuss about the design of the board. So yeah, hopefully have some prototypes out in the video soon. Anto16 says, Kevin, are you still repping Volcom? I've recently gotten into wearing L1 jackets and pants. So I've got 2 L1 jackets and 2 L1 pairs of pants, and I'm like pretty stoked on the fit, the way they feel, the whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna try riding L1 for a while. It's pretty fun gear. I think I don't know too much about the background of L1. I think they're like maybe owned by Nitro. But yeah, I really like the style. It's super fun. I was wearing it in the Heli video. So yeah, switching it up a little bit with trying out some L1 outerwear. Logan, this was my first season. Any good recommendation for an intermediate all-around board? Sick, Logan. Yeah, man. So Nidecker makes a few like cool sort of all-around boards. Something like check out the Merc, and also check out the more flexible version of this one. Just the regular sensor. So the sensor or the Merc, something that's got some positive camber. These ones have side kicks, so the edges kind of come away from the snow towards the tips, making it a bit more forgiving for turning. But something with a bit of camber and like a mid flex, I think is good for intermediate riding. Bad Rider says, welcome to the Apple life. Your editing is going to be so much easier. I've been using Macs forever. You should look into Final Cut, Premiere grade editing suite. Oh, and no subscription. Wow, okay. Just move over to Final Cut and get rid of my subscription. Okay, that's one thing to consider, but I definitely do love the MacBook Pro is like next level. My old PC, I used to have like a Dell laptop PC, and it would get like so hot when I would be editing. So I finally just switched over to Mac, and it's like super fast and it doesn't get hot, and it's awesome to work with. Oh, my dog Jake is just coming to say hello. Hey Jake, hey buddy. Oh, you're yawning, huh? Davin says, what should I buy that's a good park snowboard and also a junior 142? To be honest, I'm not super familiar with like the junior smaller boards, so I can't help you out, man. But yeah, just take a look online. Look for something that's like in your weight range, and I'm sure you'll find something. But I'm sorry, I'm not like super familiar with the junior size boards. James says, do you recommend trampoline training before attempting new tricks in the park? Definitely, yeah, absolutely. Like some of my best park days like came after doing some trampoline training. There used to be this place in Worcester called Bounce, and I would go there like a couple times a week. I would take the Snowboard Addiction like trampoline board and just be in there for hours, like practicing spins and flips and all kinds of things. And it was just like absolutely hooked on like trampolining and like all that kind of stuff. So it did help me a lot with like my air awareness, with getting grabs, with creating spin, with like rotations for like flips and everything. It's huge. It's like the number one thing I think you can do for jumps is like getting on a trampoline. You do have to be careful because you can definitely hurt your back spending too much time on a trampoline. I think like there was 1 month where I went to the trampoline place like 2 or 3 times a week. I was completely addicted, and then I definitely tweaked something in my back just because I was like doing it too much. So be careful that way, but Definitely an amazing way to get good at jumps is just to get on a trampoline. And if you can do it with like a tramp board as well, that's going to help you for practicing the spins and grabs and everything. Brandon says, do I get a dope sticker if I run into you on the hill? Definitely, man. Yeah, I've been trying to carry like stickers and beanies actually on me at all times. So anytime I've been running into people on the mountain, been trying to hand out beanies and stickers. So yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, that quick, good reminder, if you guys are interested in SPC beanies, shirts, stickers, all that is linked below in the description. Oh yeah, Bad Rider's saying TJ gets motion sickness on the trampoline. Yeah, he used to get some bad motion sickness. I think he still does, unfortunately. But yeah, I know TJ. He got some like anti-motion sickness pills to kind of help with that. I'm not sure if he's tried that out, but yeah, some people definitely the motion sickness can affect you on a trampoline. David says, is Burton a good brand for park? Definitely, yeah. Burton's got some awesome park boards in the lineup. I think they have a couple like junior size boards too. Coglio Knows says, hey Kevin, long time no chat for me. Love the Alaska edit, super sick adventure, awesome. Thanks, yeah, thanks for checking it out, man. That was that video was a wild adventure for sure. And El Stacker is watching from Philly. El Stacker, how was the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches? Have you guys had a few of those out there? Marcio is watching from Brazil. Awesome, man. Yeah, it says like your videos. Thanks, Marcio, for hopping on. Do you have any snowboard plans this year? Are you going to hit up Argentina or Chile or make the trip north? I guess, yeah, from Brazil, you have a longer way to go. Extra Crispy says, if you come back to Alaska, you definitely should try and come during Slush Cup in April. Super fun, big party, carnival at Alyeska. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. So April, the Slush Cup. Okay, we'll check that out. Anto16 says, that's sick. Their gear looks super cool. Nice, man. Yeah, are you talking about the L1 gear? But yeah, there's definitely some cool designs out there. Erwin says, hey Kevin, what are your thoughts on Now and Jones bindings and the skate technology they use? To be honest, like I never felt like the skate tech. I kind of understand like the idea behind it and maybe it does work, but I never really felt it. I did like Now bindings. I thought, yeah, they're good. They're comfortable. They did a really good job. I liked how the ankle strap was just really soft and kind of like 3D gripped onto your boot. So all good things to say about Now bindings, but I never really like got onto skate tech and really felt like a big difference. But yeah, maybe the difference is there, but I just couldn't feel it. Sorry, I said Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, Connor's saying, dude, so hungry for cheesesteak now. Awesome. N3 have you tried Stepon bindings? If so, what do you think? Yeah, I've tried them a few times. I think like Step-ons, you do get that like convenience for sure of like just stepping in your feet. So that's really cool. The times that I've used the Burton Step-ons, it's like the convenience factor was awesome, but I did feel, and even the way that you were locked into the board actually felt like, if it did feel really good, like you were really locked in. But like my concern is kind of not having the bindings and only using the boots to hold your feet like into the like into the setup, you're really putting a lot of like strain on your boots, and so that's where I kind of didn't feel like as much performance was just from losing the like binding straps. So I think it's a bit of a trade-off. I think you do feel like more secure attached to the board, surprisingly, and it's super convenient, but I feel like you lose a little bit of like performance. I love like that feeling of just like really like ratcheting down the straps before you're dropping in, just to get your feet like completely locked in. Colm says, what about the Nidecker Supermatic bindings, Kevin? Any info for us on them? Colm from Ireland. Awesome, man. What's up, Colm? Yeah, man, the Supermatics look awesome. So I did get to try them one day back in like September. I think it was in September. But yeah, they're awesome. So it's kind of like that issue I was just talking about with the Stepons where you don't have the straps. So the Supermatics have kind of fixed that problem where you have the step-in function where you just step in and it locks in, and then you also have straps that hold your boot down. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. I only rode the Supermatics for like, I think it was like 2 laps, or yeah, just like 2 laps up on the glacier in Austria. But yeah, they felt good, super solid, easy to use. And yeah, hopefully get to check out the Supermatic some more. So yeah, it's interesting what's going on with like snowboard gear in the next year. There's like some real cool technology coming out. Working Class Active saying footage from your past trips have been dope. Awesome, thanks, man. Yeah, chasing the powder this winter has been pretty wild. Definitely. Yeah, Mount Baker, Alaska, even going out to Crystal and Revelstoke. Yeah, getting to some really cool spots. So yeah, some crazy views, good powder. I'm kind of looking forward to riding something, to changing it up a bit though, and riding maybe some like park days or just getting out in the sun. But yeah, thanks Working Class Active for checking those out, man. Guilherme says, do you know what happens with boards that were not sold? Oh, and then the message evaporated. I think when boards don't get sold, they usually just go into like, an outlet store that go on sale. I think like most stuff eventually gets sold out. Like, I mean, I guess there's some stuff that doesn't, but I don't think they like take the top sheet off and put it like a new one on and then resell it or anything like that. I think like I see boards over here. So in Vancouver on 4th Avenue, there's a place called like Boardroom Clearance, and you'll see like boards from like last year or maybe even 2 years ago still up for sale. So I think eventually they just keep getting marked down in price, and then they get picked up. But yeah, it's I think eventually they just get such a good deal that everything either gets sold or maybe they get recycled or donated. Al Stacker says, I want step-on bindings. Do you want step-on bindings or do you need step-on bindings? Nathu says, step-on bindings comparison / review video idea. Nice, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, just get some, it'd be cool to get like a bunch of the different bindings and like compare them all. That would be super fun. Yuval says, hi Kevin, long-time viewer, love the videos, going to Whistler for an instructor course all the way from Israel next week. How's the snow conditions there at March, April from your experience? Yeah, honestly, Whistler is one of those places where the snow conditions are just, it's just so different from week to week. But I've definitely had some of my best powder days in March. It's maybe not, the temperatures, maybe look at like the long-term forecast, but it usually starts to warm up a bit. and the snow might be a little bit heavier, but March and April, you can still have powder days. Hopefully you get some sunny spring-like days as well, especially in April. It really starts to feel like spring when the sun's out and it starts to get slushy. But yeah, April, expect some slush and hopefully some sun. But March, you can still have, there can still be lots of pow days to come. So man, expect like all conditions, to be honest. Whistler is one of those places from like November all the way through until May. You can just be getting different winter weeks changing every week. So it's super dynamic like that. AJ Owen says, when are you coming back to Tahoe, dude? Yeah, I would love to get back to Tahoe. It would be sweet to get down there, ride some park maybe. But yeah, how's Tahoe been? How's the snow been holding up? Gino Danielle says, Heli skiing looks sick. Still can't believe I ran into you at Baker. Yo, what's up, man? Hope you had a good trip at Baker. And man, next year, if you can swing it, head out to Alaska. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Coglio says, can you tell me what a heli trip might cost someone to go on my bucket list? Yeah, so I think it was like 14 or 1500 USD for the day. AJ Owens, nothing like the December storms. It's a weird winter, but still good conditions. Nice, yeah. That's last time I was in Tahoe, was like the end of December. Got some of that like end of the storm powder. Yeah, I got to ride with Casey Willax and Daly out there as well. And man, we had some really good days at Sugar Bowl and also rode at Homewood. That was pretty cool. I tried to go to Alpine Meadows, but there was no parking. It was full. So. All right, Chuck, I think is asking, has anyone whacked the like button? Yeah, I think we've had 44 people hit the like button, so that's pretty cool. Oliver, do you travel to Europe at all to snowboard? Yeah, so this last couple of years, because New Zealand and Australia have been closed, we've been going to Austria and Switzerland more. So in Austria, we've been going to a place called Hintertux, and Hintertux is actually open all year round. And I think they have like a park set up that starts, I'm not exactly sure when the Hintertux park opens. It might be like September, around September time. But yeah, Hintertux is a really cool place, lots of terrain. And 2 years ago when we were there in October, we actually had some like crazy powder days. So yeah, Hintertux can get like a lot of snow. Really, yeah, big resort and lots of terrain to ride, even like in the summer or like spring. So went there a few times. And then also to Zermatt, Switzerland. And Zermatt has a park that I think, yeah, is open like all summer long. So been out there a couple times in August, and then they moved the park in like a bit later, like in the fall. So I went back there once in October, and the park had moved. But yeah, Zermatt has some like really cool parks too. So that's where I've been the last few years. Before that, I did do a winter Europe trip. I went to St. Anton in Austria, which was amazing, like massive like mountain range and resorts, just like tons and tons of chairlifts. Also went to Morzine of Voriaz in France. That was like incredible experience, some of the best riding there. And we also went to Austria, we went to France. Where else did we go? I've been to not Belgium, the Netherlands, to the indoor slope there, and what's it called? Been to an indoor place in Amsterdam, and also an indoor place in England too. So a few places around. Oh, Bad Riders. I just noticed Kev is wearing a throwback beanie. Yeah, this is the old black one. There's a few black beanies left. So I got this one out. And yeah, but there's still some red beanies available too in the description, guys. Snow Team DHB, favorite snowboard manufacturer tour. Favorite tour. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, but I did go to the Capita factory a couple years ago. That was really cool. I think that's the only snowboard factory I've been in. So, but yeah, it was really cool to get to tour around that factory and check it out. Silas says, "Are you in Alaska now?" Unfortunately, I'm not in Alaska now. Right now, I'm back in Vancouver. So yeah, it took me a few days to edit that Alaska heli video. Oh, Chuck Van's reminding me, Landgraf. Yeah, Landgraf in Amsterdam. That's the name of the indoor place. Oh, Brian, okay, I just went back a little bit. Brian says, what about K2 clicker bindings, Kev? Yeah, so the K2 clicker bindings, that was actually my very first pair of snowboard bindings were K2 clickers, and they didn't even have a high back. It was just like you had the boot and you clicked like into the binding, and yeah, they were something. They were something, all right. It was pretty convenient, but I don't think the idea doesn't quite, it's not ideal. They're like, okay, I guess that they do the job. Coglio says, I'm always extra hyped when I see you pop up in other vids. You're everywhere, it seems. More collabs for sure. Ready for another Japan banger. Yeah, I would love to get back out to Japan and yeah, hopefully get to collab with a bunch more people too. It's been a few people too that I haven't been able to see in a while. Like David Jones over in New Zealand, haven't been able to see him in a couple of years because of things being shut down. But yeah, would be stoked to get some more collabs rolling. El Stacker says, what new Nidecker board are you going to ride? So on this next trip, I think it may be more just like park and groomers. So I'm gonna bring my POW board, so the Beta APX, the Nidecker Mellow, but I feel like I'll probably be riding the Sensor Plus and also the Nidecker. I also have the Sensor, so I'll probably be riding the Sensor Plus and Sensor more. Unless we get some like new snow, then I'll probably take the Beta APX out, maybe for some like carving or something. That would be super fun. So, but I don't have any new Nidecker boards on me at the moment. So still gonna, the park boards, I'm still stoked to ride them some more for some spring park conditions. And yeah, we'll go from there. Chuck Van saying, Japan is the land of dreams, a winter wonderland. It is, man. Yeah, Japan is wild. Bad Riders, DWCP, XSPC, Japan takeover needs to happen like 2020, but even bigger. Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can do that next winter. Have like get a massive like crew going for a Japan trip. That would be sick. All right, let's do a few more questions, then I might hop off of here. James says, noob to doing my first 360 last season. If you in New Zealand, bro, hit me. Okay, James Spicer. Awesome, man. Well, yo, congrats on doing your first 360 last season, man. That's awesome. Joseph says, any 2023 reviews coming soon? New Union Atlas upped the stiffness of the high back and seemed too much for my all mountain Capita A sim. Also, thanks for the lesson. Hit my first rail this weekend. Awesome, Joseph. That's awesome, man. Yeah, no plans at the moment for getting my hands on 2023 gear, but yeah, we'll see what I get my hands on. We'll be stoked to check some stuff out, but yeah, we'll see what's on the way. Bad Riders 2023 Orca looks sick too. Oh wow. And Anto is watching from Costa Rica. Josh says, hey Kevin, some companies already have their 22-23 lineups available for pre-order in Japan. Was wondering if there's any boards you're interested in checking out or reviewing. At the moment, I've because I've been working with Nidecker on getting my snowboard out, I've kind of been thinking about that one. So yeah, I'm stoked to get that one going. But man, the last 5 years, I've ridden so many boards that there's not a lot coming out that just in terms of board wise that I'm really looking forward to riding. But I'm sure I'll get on some stuff this summer and there'll be some stuff I'm stoked on. Chronic says, any advice on starting to hit jumps? Definitely. So start out just getting comfortable riding with some speed, because when you start doing jumps, you really want to be comfortable with your speed and control. And then start just by doing some ollies just on the run, as you're riding, find little spots to do ollies. And if you can get air throughout your run as you're just going down the hill, that's a good place to start and just get comfortable just doing ollies and landing. And then just find some small side hits or small rollers, more things just outside the park that are safe, where you can just get comfortable just getting air. And then when you jump, really think about keeping your weight stacked over your snowboard, not leaning too far forward or backwards. So really keeping your balance centered, keeping your head up. It's good to have especially to keep yourself going straight. You think about having your backhand over top of the tail of your board. That's really going to help you. If your shoulders are square to your board, then everything will stay straight. And then just get used to doing quick speed checks as well, because when you land, doing 2 or 3 speed checks is really good for just helping you to control your speed. So if you practice outside the park first, then when you go for your first small jump, you're going to be ready for it. And the first one, just start off small too. Just keep it small and progress slowly. But yeah, man, check out some of the videos that I've done on the channel too for jump progression. There's a ton of videos to help with that. D. Shea says, do you have any pre and post ride routines, preparation and recovery? Awesome. Yeah. So I guess to be honest, before I ride, what do I do before? I don't have a ton of pre stuff. I usually to be honest, I really don't eat that much before or during riding. I feel that's something that I used to maybe 7 or 8 years ago. I would eat before or during riding, and that would kind of that would really interrupt my day or slow me down. So now I don't eat too much. I might have something small before I go riding, but just staying lighter on the day and just riding all the way through. That's kind of that seems to work for me. And then post riding, I definitely will try to do a bit of stretching and then also get one of those small handheld massagers. Those can really help with if you have any leg pain or anything afterwards. is just getting like a massager onto your legs. I feel like that's really helped me for some like post snowboarding recovery. But like overall, I try to eat like as best I can, drinking lots of water, staying away from like too much. I'm definitely not perfect. Like sometimes I'll have like Red Bulls or like too much coffee, like things like that. But I try to like stay away from them, but sometimes I do get into that. And those kind of like definitely swing me like high and low, which is not a great thing to do. But yeah, just trying to like eat as best you can and then get lots of rest. I feel like rest like during a snowboard trip is important. So yeah, going to bed early and like getting up early, that really helps. But yeah, it's kind of tough to be honest, because I don't have like the best I don't have the best routines. I wish I had some better ones. Maybe I'll develop some and then I'll get back to you. Brandon says, got into editing after watching your videos. It would be sweet to edit a video with you in the crew at Sunshine. Sweet, man. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon, just like maybe hit me up on Instagram or shoot me an email or something. But yeah, we'll just be out there. Just it's gonna be casual. So yeah, man, hit me up. Maybe we'll see you out there, man. And El Stacker Adventures saying cannonball the like button. Awesome. Thanks, El Stacker. Appreciate it, man. Sweet. Thank you guys for hopping on. Hope I answered some of your guys' questions. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys hopping on here to talk to me for the hour. And yeah, this week gonna be heading out to Banff for a bit of a snowboard trip. So excited to check out Banff. Videos coming soon from out there. I think Brandon said, what's your email? So you can hit me up at kevin@snowboardprocamp.com if you want to get in touch, man. But yeah, stoked to make some videos from Banff for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys are having fun out there snowboarding and having a great season. And yeah, really appreciate everyone hopping on for the live chat. All right, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Good talking to y'all, and I'll see you guys next week. Later.